Type ya mazino show off. If when it's you go baby, you go know. Enemy on set you move baby. Forever takaba puresha yama. Ama chiki hari sama. Tulole la fekashi. Ukabama, who do you think you are? Olo, who do you think I am? Kafumi hapo maybe pakaba perhaps. Why nigga lasi noti ama cups. Ngana fika na pona na dula. Awe mwandi nekatumpa. Inemo katumpa.
Badiamba wangu kunjaja Donishta pale fona kwa tai Banje banikulo mutweta Waishi bafyaki nganastika nkatumpa Nganastika nkatumpa
JC Links and Triple M will be performing at the Mossy Day of Thunder that's coming up next Saturday, is it? Next Saturday.
Well, I'm ready to see Zavan and Towela perform as well for their song PPA.
It's all about the Monster Dog mashups right here on Power 91.3. Voice of the People is up next. My name is Patrick Former, joining the Queens of Breakfast.
On Power FM.
A very good morning to you. Our guest this morning is Mr. Enoch Tonga. He's the Third Liberation Movement President. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Thank you very much for this wonderful...
Please kindly come closer to the mic, please, if you may.
Good morning.
Yes.
Good morning.
Okay, let's get right into it. Kindly introduce yourself. Who's Mr. Enoch Tonga?
Do I need to introduce myself? Mr. Tonga is the next president of the Republic of Zambia, the one who is running the only genuine political movement in the Republic of Zambia called the Third Liberation Movement. So Mr. Tonga is one who is aspiring for the leadership of this great nation, the Republic of Zambia, that of the presidency. So I was saying Mr. Tonga is the next president of the Republic of Zambia, one who is managing or the founder and the vision bearer of an organization called the Third Liberation Movement. Mm-hmm. This is the only institution strongly believed so that stands out and very unique in the political spectrum. So in brief, Mr. Tonga is a servant of the people, called to save the people, and the mission is to ensure that the people of Zambia test the best part of their lives. Mm-hmm. That's all about Mr. Tonga.
Well, when did you get this calling where you had this revelation that you were going to be the next leader?
Where did I get what?
The calling to serve, to be the servant of the people.
God calls the people to save them. So the calling is godly. They've always been emphasizing the same thing. If we look back where we're coming from, mm-hmm. Third Liberation Movement was registered on 4th June 2014. Mm-hmm. From that particular time, we've told the people of Zambia that until Mr. Tonga becomes the president, we continue going through circles. They did not believe, but of course now, I'm sure the truth is hitting people's heads. Looking at where we're coming from 2014 up this very time, life has not changed. Of course, going back to 1964, the people of Zambia have been going through difficulties. But the most important thing that you need to know is that we've had the PF administration then, from Michael Sata to Edgar Lungu, through to where we are today. And our language has been very basic and very clear that we are not going anywhere if we continue to entertain the same people. So until ERT, that is myself, the Third Liberation Movement forms government, then you see the change, because this is what God wants to do. So to a large extent, what you are seeing in the Republic of Zambia, those who are now running the affairs of this great nation, and as far as we are concerned, they are like leaders that have come in here, but not to fulfill what God has called them for, but mainly to subject the people of Zambia to difficulties and poverty levels. So the calling comes from God Almighty.
Okay.
Now, Mr. Tonga, does your party have the much needed number to form government?
The party represents the people of Zambia. I love that particular question. The numbers that we do have are the people of Zambia. Let me put this way. 2 days ago, I think on Sunday, we had a press briefing. One of the questions that I got from the journalists was that what's your representation, or what a number they've got in the Republic of Zambia? My answer was very basic and easy to say, the people of Zambia are the numbers. The people of Zambia who are dissatisfied with the current leadership, of course not the current only, but where we're coming from, they are the numbers that the Third Liberation Movement has got. So, yes, we do have the numbers, and the numbers are the people of Zambia. Those are the numbers.
Let's talk about the numbers. Let's take you back to, since you registered your party in 2014, I'm presuming you stood in 2016 and in the previous elections, the 2021 elections.
Yes.
Let's talk about the numbers. How did you fare?
2021, now
in 2016, let's go back to 2016.
2016, we were not, as an institution, no, we did not participate.
In the presidential elections?
But 2021, yes, I was the presidential candidate.
Okay. How were the numbers then?
Come again?
How were your numbers? How did you fare?
The numbers, we got about 3,112 votes altogether.
Okay. So do you think, therefore, that the numbers are with the Zambians? That those are the numbers you got in 2021. We're going into an election next year. You're hoping to get 3,000% increase from that number?
I think there's a bit of in my ears, a bit of noise, so the voicing is not very clear.
Okay. I was saying that you got 3,000 votes in the last presidential elections, and you're hoping that the people will give you the mandate in 2026. So you're hoping to get over 1,000 or 2,000% increment?
Let's put it this way. First of all, what you need to understand is that we're in Africa, Zambia in particular, where we've been told that we have got democracy. The truth of the matter is that the African setup, or Zambia in particular, we do not have democracy. Okay, what we have is oppression in the best interest of those who are running the affairs of this country. And I must emphasize that this has been happening not only with the current leadership, but where we're coming from since 1964. Kaunda did the same thing down to MMD, PF, and now we are under the UPND administration. So for us, it's not about what we had yesterday in terms of numbers. For us is the people of Zambia over time. What have we taught them? Secondly, the people of Zambia are themselves feeling the pain and the truth that stands out. As we speak right now, people of Zambia are listening. So those numbers, yes, stand out. But to a large extent, I do not want to go in details. What I know is that we are with the people of Zambia. Surely,
politics is a game of numbers. So how do you hope to get transform those numbers? That's
a language that you've been taught by the politician, that politics, the game of numbers. Yes, of course, that's how they put it. But to a large extent, when the people are with you, we are able to turn around the current situation. Let's go back to MMD. MMD was formed, I think, 9 months before the formation of government. And Kaunda got a shock over his day, of his life, where he was even asking where were the women? Why? Because people did not go along with themselves. So we know what's going on the ground. We are on the ground with the people of Zambia, and I will not even rest my decision based on the 3,000 votes that we could have gotten. 13,000 votes, sorry, that we have gotten, yes. So the most important thing is that the people of Zambia who are discontent with the current leadership are with us. And it's a majority of them who are going to work with us. And as I've mentioned earlier on, the understanding is that we shall not go any other way, because if we go other way around, other than that of Karuzi Otonga and the Third Liberation Movement, then we're missing it up. So the most important thing is that we are with the people of Zambia.
As president of the Third Liberation Movement, how do you plan to address the economic challenges the current people of Zambia are facing?
Very basic and very simple. In what sense? It's an issue of fighting against corruption. And that centers my heart. Life centers money. Obviously, God first. This morning, when you woke up, I woke up, anybody woke up, people, they wake up with figures. What they think about is how much am I going to make today? Or how will I survive the following morning? So it's money. Money is what goes into people's pockets, and politicians for that matter. And I must emphasize, or I must hasten to state that we are very grateful that as Power Radio and Television, you've given us an opportunity, because this enables us to get to every corner of the public of Zambia and the globe as well. So how do we tackle the economy of this particular country? It's very simple. We fight corruption. On Sunday, 13th of this is April 2025, I announced that I'm the president today. By decree or executive order, corruption becomes non-bearable in the Republic of Zambia. Once you stop corruption, you have enough money.
How do you plan to stop corruption?
Just by putting up the law, non-bearable on corruption. What that simply means that that becomes a deterrent. I will know, you will know, everybody will know, politicians will know that once they are picked up being suspects of corrupt or being corrupt, then they will not be given bail. So that in itself, it's a deterrent for the people to get involved into corrupt activities. So what's important here is that, first of all, Mr. Tonga must live in accordance with what Mr. Tonga says. He must be an example. Now, the non-bearable on corruption, let me explain this. This is it is already an adopted motion which sits in Parliament. We took it to Parliament on the 28th of February in the year 2020, of which the UPND is aware about it. And the previous regime, also Lungu PF administration, were aware about it. They did not act on it. So it's not a mere promise. We have already delivered to the people of Zambia. Why? Because this law sits in Parliament and nobody wants to act on it. I think lately we've had, I think the law on non-bearable to do with the stealing of cattle. And we've all been saying that this is because probably the current head we have, it does so much of keeping of animals. That is why they had pushed that particular law. So in summary form, we are enacting non-bearable law on corruption. Once that is in place, people will know that this law is not a playing issue. I think now we are crying about the cyber security law, which was just introduced.
Before we get into that, though,
yes.
Just the fight on corruption alone is not will not turn around the economic fortunes of Zambia. Are we in agreement on that?
Corruption?
Just the fight on corruption alone will not turn around the economic fortunes.
Of course,
of this country.
Of course, yes, of course. That's what I say.
So, what are some of the issues that you hope to, or some of the policies that you hope to implement?
Come again?
What are some of the policies that you hope to implement other than the fight of corruption, against corruption?
For me, it centers corruption. Okay.
Aside from that, what are some of the economic policies that you hope to implement if you were to be ushered into power?
There are many other areas that we can approach.
Please give us some details on that.
You can highlight that for us.
What I want you to understand is that when we fight corruption, first of all, it creates an environment that is enabling, because corruption cuts across all sectors of life, be it education, agriculture, investment, foreign direct investment. That all deters people to come in here. So once you stop corruption to its end, you are expecting that all sectors of the economy will flourish. Okay. Let me give a basic example. I just came back from America a few days ago. And then on Sunday, we did announce that we to offer the President of the United States of America, Donald J. Trump, what we call a golf course in a prestigious game parks of Zambia. That in itself, you cannot bring that kind of an investment in Zambia when there's corruption. We are saying that we want to bring in foreign investors in Zambia. They cannot come in here when there's corruption, because you know that for anybody to invest in a country, they must know that the investment is safe and protected. Okay? So for us, as far as we are concerned, it goes beyond any sector. I'll be wasting my time to promise to you that I'm going to do ABCD, for example, in agriculture, when I know there's corruption. So when you nip or stop corruption, you expect that all these sectors will fall in by themselves. Okay? For instance, let's talk about agriculture. For agriculture to flourish, for example, you need people to acquire maybe inputs and machinery from outside the Republic of Zambia. Then if you don't create an enabling environment, which is corrupt-free, you have problems to bring in those particular instruments, machinery into the Republic of Zambia. So for us, the main issue here is the fight against corruption in all sectors. That fits in. When you know that there's no corruption, people come in by themselves. Corruption goes beyond many other areas. Of course, media, for example. Media becomes the voice of everybody. Now, if there's corruption, you expect that probably media institutions can be all around, not to accommodate certain people. And when you know that once I'm caught in getting or receiving certain bribes, I'm in trouble. So you automatically stop and give room to everybody else.
But one would argue that despite the high levels of corruption, if you will, the country is still functioning. The agriculture sector is still functioning. The mines are still functioning, despite the high levels of corruption.
Nothing's functioning in Zambia.
Well, we're not a paralyzed state. It's functional.
We are. Nothing's functioning in Zambia.
Please elaborate on that.
Are you saying that the institutional bodies that are fighting corruption, like for example the Anti-Corruption Commission, is not doing its job, the FIC as well, or the DC?
Yes, allow me to, I think, put this thing here aside so that I can pick up your voice properly.
Okay.
Yeah. Nobody is fighting corruption in Zambia. No one is fighting corruption in Zambia. In what sense? Let's go this path. The DEC is appointed by the president.
Right.
Okay? What I mean by that is that whoever is in charge of the DEC, whoever is in charge of the Drug Enforcement, is it Drug Enforcement Commission?
Correct.
Or the,
Drug Enforcement Commission.
The DPP, should I say all the institutions in Zambia are hinged to a president. And this man has a say on what they are doing. So, if indeed they were fighting corruption, by now we'll have seen that Zambia is flourishing and doing very well. So nobody is fighting corruption in the Republic of Zambia. It's all about themselves. Okay? I have mentioned about the non-bearable corruption. If indeed these people are fighting corruption, by now we should have had this law enacted, which have not done. So nobody is fighting corruption in the Republic of Zambia.
Are you saying he's influencing whatever decisions they are making in these bodies?
Mr. Akainde S. Chilema, Mr. Lungu then, whoever was there, with the current system, which system they used, even those, all of them were, even him, is influencing the system. He has a say. Recently we had the printout of money, and he had a chance, an opportunity watching the bank governor by saying, no, we made decisions. Mm-hmm. Yes, they will tell you that outside. But the truth of the matter is that the presidency is so powerful.
But just on that,
yes.
Just on that, on the Bank of Zambia issue, that decision was made back in 2021, July of 2021. So how did the current president influence that decision?
It doesn't matter.
He was not in office then, so how did he influence the decision?
The current president fits in the system that the PF administration were using. Mm-hmm. So they fitted in the system that was used then. Mm-hmm. So if he uses the same system, obviously he has a word. Because if that decision was done then, what was correct for them to go ahead and print the money? Because what they've done is not correct.
What is not correct about the new printing of the banknotes?
One, they've wasted money. Two, the money itself, to me, as far as I'm concerned, it's far below the international standards.
How so?
I mean, look at the dollar itself, the length. And the length of the quarter is too short in nature. And that was the reason for them to change money. And look at the feature they put on the money as well, such as the mobility. Those are the things that you started.
What is wrong with that in particular? The features. What is wrong with that?
For example, I picked up mobility. The wrong thing about that is that President Akainde Hichilema comes from Southern Province. That's his region.
Okay.
Mr. Tonga comes from Eastern Province.
Okay.
If I was to pick up, for example, a river called the Msandre River, which passes by my road,
you would have been happy with that?
No, I wouldn't be. Okay. I'll stop it.
Okay.
So, by allowing that to be put, on the money in itself, it's questionable. Any well-meaning leaders have said, no, this is where I'm coming from. People might suspect anything else. Mm-hmm. That's what we are doing. So, if it was myself, I would have said, no, let's not go that particular path. So, you can see that the mission.
So let me ask this. Are you therefore suggesting that when the approval of the new notes was approved in July of 2021, the new administration decided on the features? That's what you're saying?
Go over it again.
The decision to print new money was made in July of 2021. Mm-hmm. Are you therefore suggesting that the current administration had a say in the features on the current notes?
Of course, yes.
Okay.
Of course,
just wanted to put you on record.
No, of course, yes. I mean, look, the point is that one, Akainde S. Hichilema fits in the system that Lungu PF administration was using, mm-hmm. or we're using. And that's why we're missing it. Because if we were to do anything else unique from this country, we must overhaul the political system. And for us, we are going to change the entire political system. We are not going to fit in the same system that they're using. It's like you're driving a vehicle, which looks very beautiful, nice outside the vehicle, but then you're using an old engine. You cannot deliver. So for us, I'm the head of state today. we are going to overhaul the entire political system. We're not fitting in the system that they're using.
I read somewhere, correct me if I'm wrong, part of your overhaul, if you were to assume office, is to offer U.S. President Donald Trump for Zambia to be the 51st state?
Exactly, 100% correct.
Explain the rationale there. I'm completely blown away.
Beautiful. We form government. Zambia is offered to the USA to become 51.
Why even consider that? Why?
What do you mean why? Why? What do you mean why?
Why even consider that? For what purpose?
What are we as Africans? What are we as Zambia? It's all poverty. 60 years down the line, we remain very poor. Meaning that the system we've used for ourselves from 1964 to this very end has not worked. In fact, the truth of the matter is that the obtaining situation now, in real terms, we are already under the control of these foreign powers. For example, Western world, America, Europe. These decisions are made on our behalf. Okay, in what sense? What are we using here? You quote your country in dollars. I mean, whatever you're doing, it's in dollars. So, at the end of the day, we are not helping the people of Zambia. These political party leaders who are sitting in public offices, they want to enjoy the wealth of this nation by themselves and leave the people of Zambia poor. So what we are doing now is that we are letting the cat off the bag, where every Zambian citizen must be part of the cake. Okay? And we're not saying that Zambia will be in the hands of the America for the rest of its life. There's that kind of a thing. No, we are saying it's 99 years lease.
So you want to lease the country for 99 years?
Yes.
to Donald Trump? That's what you're saying?
No. Donald Trump is one of those people that are sitting in public office.
That's what I mean.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The most important thing is that we are going to be in the hands of the American governance system.
For 99 years,
yes.
and then revert back to whatever political system.
This is not the first thing that has
So we revert back to the broken system that you...
It won't be. 99 years, you and me will not even be there.
How is that going to benefit Zambians in particular?
Because now what it simply means that you are bringing in a system that is working into this nation. They're not carrying this Tabaka Sendo Mushidi to still be here. But what they're doing that side will be done in here. America is an indispensable nation.
So for you, their system is working.
Perfect, 100%. That's why they what they are. Those who doesn't know, I mean, the point is that every Zambian citizen, poor or rich, would want to live a very good life or be able to be part of the system that Americans are using.
Tell me something. You said you recently returned from the U.S. What are some of the beautiful things that you saw that we can emulate? Were you all over the place?
Yes.
And you're satisfied that it's a perfect system?
I don't even need to be satisfied, but the point is that the whole lot of their system is working.
Are you saying there's no corruption in the U.S.?
Come again?
Are you saying there's no corruption in the U.S.?
It could be there, but very low. Not where we are today. Okay? Let me give a basic example. I've got a trip to Saudi Arabia, but then I'm having a bit of challenges. I know why. I don't want to give you details. Because Saudi Arabia's system is too small. Now, the American embassy, for example, system itself, I've traveled to America twice. I'm going back any time from now. But then the way I was given a visa was perfectly done. Why? Because the system is working. Nobody had a hand. They tried to stop it, but they couldn't succeed. To a point where my passport got lost just here.
What hand? In what?
Of course, we're in politics.
Okay.
I did announce that I was held in America at the point of entry for 5 hours. The authorities that side. So we understand that the politicians, the governance system of Africa is funny. They want to stop what is correct. Now, when you go to America, the whole system is working. Each one is doing something for that particular country. And these people have done it. You know, they are helping everybody all over the world. Africans, we are failing to manage ourselves for 60 years. So we are saying, no, it's not correct. The best we can do is that, can we learn from what happened or what they're doing, how they do it themselves? And the best way to go is to fit in what they're doing. Macau, Hong Kong, in China is the best example. These two states or these two smaller lands were in the hands of Portuguese and UK. After that, they had to revert back to mainland China. And that's why China is as where it is today economically 50 years down the line.
Now, Mr. Tongo, before you continue, sorry to cut you off short, currently there is a trade war going on between China and the Americans, and you did say that Americans is helping other countries. What other countries are they helping?
No, America has been a watchdog for all countries across the globe. But of course, you need to understand one thing, that Chinese wants to put their foot also on the globe to become like a superpower. And that's why you're having these problems. But America has been a watchdog, making sure that peace is maintained across the globe. And we cannot turn away from that. So they are helping everybody. If anything, we are a safer world because of the existence of America. You can imagine in the absence of America, people are coming up with all sorts of plans, with these bombs and whatever it is. So that's a nation we can emulate or learn from. They're helping everybody across the globe.
Isn't the aid enough that we get from America?
We don't need aid. It must be part of the system because aid perpetuates poverty. We want to continue receiving and then we don't want to plan for the better. So the most important thing is that we need to fit in their system. Okay, let me give you an example. Hawaii is one of the states in America. Hawaii is about 8 hours flight. You from America to here, you need about 10 hours or so. Now, that's a distance away from America, but go to Hawaii is a very beautiful land, well developed. Therefore, if President Tonga has offered or goes this particular path to ensure that Zambia becomes part of America, all we want is to see a better life for everybody. Now, today, you are 6 years down the line, all you see is few individuals, so-called the president, the vice president, the executive, enjoying themselves. Everybody remains in poor. That is what we are stopping as the liberation movement.
This is Voice of the People. The phone lines are now open for you. If you have a contribution or a question for Mr. Enoch Tonga, who's the third Liberation Movement president, you can come through 0955-997-997 or 0979-192-485. Let's talk about the mining sector.
Yes.
What would the third Liberation Movement do differently than is being done?
We need to open up this country to everybody for investment. Okay? The mining sector is the mainstay of our economy. But look, it's better that we allow those who are able to manage this economy better for us. We open up the mines for good investment.
But some of your opposition colleagues are actually saying the opposite. They're saying that we need to nationalize the mines so that we can, quote-unquote, benefit directly from the high copper prices, for instance.
Look, to be honest with you, I've always been, at some point, thought that that's a better way to go. But truth be told, we are far from that. Realistically, we are unable to do that. We cannot manage our own people. So how do we manage the mines? Get my point. Zambia remains a rebel economy. We are not managing ZESCO, for example. I did announce that I'm closing in DC.
Just hold your thought. Let me get in the call. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, through the Voice of the People, your name and where you calling from?
Rafa Nsaka.
Rafa, where you calling from?
I'm calling you Vin Nsaka.
Okay, go ahead with your question or contribution for Mr. Tonga.
Yes, Mr. President, good morning.
Good morning, thank you.
Thank you. I just wanted to find out a few issues from you. We have been seeing a lot of by-elections that are going on, and your party has not been participating in the election. What could be the problem? The second question that I have for you, if you have been given chance to become a Republican president, what can be your first priority to do for the Zambian people? Please, I need your answer. Thank you.
Thank you indeed. 0955-997-997 or 0979-192-485.
Good morning.
Seem to have lost that one.
Okay. All right. Maybe you can make one to answer that question. Those three questions that he posed.
One, he says...
the by-elections?
Why are we not participating? It's not necessary. I must emphasize, it's not necessary because we understand the political environment. We'll just be wasting our money and get ourselves nowhere. You've seen that whenever I go for by-elections, the sitting government, same with the previous administration, they are always winning the seats. Of course, we've had maybe one or two of them, but they take an upper hand. We are beyond that kind of reasoning. We understand.
Don't you think you're lacking confidence if you say that?
No, it's not about lacking confidence. We have our own strategy of how we're going to approach it. Sometimes people need to have a lot of thirsty for them to make a decision. When somebody wants to drink water, or maybe a deer wants to drink water, you hide it somewhere until such a point that you say, here's water, you see how they run after it. So we know what we're doing. The unfolding events in the Republic of Zambia, to a large extent, as we go ahead, favors what we are doing. So we're not going to get ourselves involved in an activity that we know at the end of the day we spend money and you take us nowhere. Obviously, I'll tell you, they want us to be on the ground, be heard, we're there, but we know what to follow. We have a plan that is very unique from what everybody has been doing.
What are you first prioritizing for the people of Zambia, like the caller asked?
As I've emphasized, we want to make sure that your life is better. Better is fighting corruption. Today, I'm the president. We will not wait for the parliament. I've mentioned it. Executive order, we are declaring corruption as non-bearable. We are going to have enough money for everybody. Of course, as I mentioned earlier on, one of the things we're going to do is to offer Donald J. Trump of America the de facto role. That means that he will be an immediate person to advise on how we can run the affairs.
You might want to hold that thought. Hello, good morning. I see to the voice of the people.
Good morning. How are you?
Well, fine, thank you. How are you doing?
I'm well, thanks.
Okay.
This is Maponga.
Okay. All right, Maponga, go ahead with the contribution.
Where are you calling from, Maponga?
Ngwebebe. That's the thing, Ngwebebe.
Okay, go ahead, please.
The question goes to Mr. Enoch.
Yes.
Why are you so obsessed with America? And why should you rely on another country to develop your own country? Why can't you focus on developing the country using local resources and, for example, Zambia should be the second largest exporter of copper. So why can we, import machinery that processes copper and just, develop the country within ourselves and not have to, rely on Trump or other countries from outside. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. You might want to answer that question.
Yes. Why am I so obsessed with America? I wish I would have asked him the same question. Is he not? Probably he's not, from what he has just told me. No, there's something deeper than that. We are obsessed with Americans because they're an example. They are human beings. Okay, let's talk about the beginning of life. God did not create America first and he came to Zambia or maybe Africa maybe after 100, 200 years and start creating people here. No, we were all created at the same point. Beginning from there, you find yourselves that the African countries have remained behind. And they'll tell you, no, you want them to colonize us. Nobody will colonize you. There's no colonization whatsoever. No. We are basically saying they have done better than us. Why don't we learn from what they've done? The current leaders, previous leaders, they don't want to hear this particular language because they want to maintain people poor and use them as capital in politics. This time around, once you are part of America as Africans or as Zambia, they will be in here, we shall be there. We'll have their system in here and our system part of what they're doing. Sorry. So that will help us to build on. Okay? Go to Egypt, for example. Go to Ethiopia, for example. These are countries in Africa which were not colonized in the history. But up to now, Africa is struggling. Okay.
Now,
Good morning. Good morning, Ituru, Voice of the People.
Good morning.
Good morning. Your names and where you calling from? Sorry, come again?
Is from Nsaka.
all right, Mr. Joseph, go ahead with the contribution.
Yes. Good morning, Mr. Tonga.
Good morning. Thank you.
Yes. I want to find out something, especially over the American thing. Hello?
Go ahead.
Yes, we have this man from Burkina Faso who seems to be doing fine now after he got detached from France. And now we have you who wants to leave this country to the Americans. How possible is it that America will do justice to us as a country when they are withdrawing aid from most of the African countries? I think it's a non-starter for us as a country. That's my point.
Many thanks indeed.
I don't know how you can. Hello?
Many thanks indeed. Thank you for your contribution.
Okay, thank you.
0955-997-997-0979192-485. Those are the numbers if you do have a question for Mr. Tonga. You want to respond to that real quick?
Yes. Let me be very clear. I think the other thing is that the people of Zambia must
kindly speak in the mic, please.
Yes. The people of Zambia must understand, very, very important. We are not going back on this decision. Mark my words, Zambians are poor. And I'm not saying that that should be, we are trying to abuse them. No. But 6% plus are people who are struggling. And we want to better their own lives. He's talking about Burkina Faso. How we can handle that?
Please hold your thought. Hello, you're through the voice of the people. Good morning.
Hello, how are you?
Fine, thank you. Your names and where you calling from?
My name is Nsaka.
Okay, please go ahead with your question or contribution.
And if Nandi Kufena Navaino Kitonga,
I'm correct. Mwalanda.
President Navaino Kitonga Murishani,
Ndife bwino kana besa mulishani.
they am Kai. Natonga Mulanda, Nesio Bonsevalanda, Nisem. But it's a mwema politician Molava. Mola chitati nga mulelanda nga muri mu opposition mulalanda bwino sana but nga mulala mu power mulala wese eto mulanda so ila ndile mulelanda wa tonga the difficult de Mozambique bamulando wa bati imwe mwema politician mwa ibanyobu tyumbu kulu.
Let me just emphasize. Muchinefina muchinkanga takawati mwalolesha pali batonga. I'm responding. Tapali no obufiyo. For me, my God in heaven is hearing me. My God in heaven is listening. Cruz Batonga, I'm not here to abuse anybody else. In fact, ngamwalolesha sana sana bakalamba bandiko tuafuma. You understand how we've remained independent and focused. So, kutumwalanda, of course, Jesus Christ was doubted by his own followers. Who am I not to be doubted? The truth of the matter is that I will emphasize, from where we're coming from, there's no lying, there's no cheating. If I lie today to you and tomorrow I don't do what I'm doing, I'm ready to resign and leave the presidency seat in the near future when I'm the president. So now I was addressing the issue of the Burkina Faso leader.
That's Ibrahim Traore.
Yes, I must emphasize, do not be cheated. Don't be lied by whatever is happening or what you're following on the media or social media. First of all, this man ascends to power through the barrel of a gun. Are you telling us that we must all use the gun? Because he forced his way up the ladder. Give Traore room and space for democracy. If he's going to allow people to vote for another person, he won't. Go there and see if media is free there to cover everybody. So what you are being shown, if here in Zambia, where I've got democracy to a certain level, so-called democracy, we are having difficulties either to appear on media or to be heard everywhere else, sort of, we are oppressed. What more?
What difficulties are you having? Because we're hosting you here without any ado.
Thank you very much. I'm so grateful that.
So what difficulties are you facing?
Beautiful. Thank you very much. You've hosted us. But my question is that, how long? How many times? Since when? Today's Power Television and Radio, they've called us. This party was born on 4th June 2014. And you've been existing.
Wouldn't someone argue that maybe you have not sold yourself well to reach a level of prominence where you're easily invited on any platform?
No, we don't need to. I mean, I was one of the presidential candidates. What selling do you want us to do other than that? The national television or national broadcaster, ZNBC, which is managed by the people's money, has never covered Mr. Tonga from 4th June 2014. You understand? That's the environment we're living in.
Good morning, you're through the voice of the people. Our guest this morning is Mr. Eric Tonga. Who do we have on the line?
Hello.
Good morning to you.
Hello.
Good morning. We can get you loud and clear. Okay, we seem to have a problem with that line. 0955997997, 0979192485. As you were saying.
Yes. So I was addressing the issue of Traore. To say, don't be cheated. What he is doing is for himself. You might say, no, he's doing very well. There's nothing. First of all, the beginning is very bad. You cannot allow the army to take over power. And then you entertain that. For that alone, it's a crime.
That's because the leader that was there didn't want to step down.
Oh, no, look.
So he had to cool the country.
It's the same thing, even here in Africa, where there's so-called democracy. The leaders don't move out easily. But we must use the better route to ascending to power. After that, then do the good thing for the people.
So let's just dwell on that for a second. So let's assume you ascend to power, you're given the mandate. So you're giving your mandate away to the U.S. to be the 51st state. You're relinquishing that mandate that the Zambians have given you to rule this country.
Fine. Of course.
That's the rationale there. I'm just trying to understand.
I understand your question. That's a very beautiful question. But the point is very simple. We are not going to just shift Zambia to American governance system. We will make a decision through a referendum.
Okay, let's assume the referendum is denied.
If they agreed with us, very good. So we move that particular path. It means that it's the people's decision. We were not going to take them by force. That's what we want.
What's
In
the
fact,
plan B?
Come again?
What's the plan B if that fails?
Of course, you have a leader like myself who will not fail you. The plan B is that you've seen that there are many offers. One, Donald J. Trump becomes the de facto president as the offer. Two, we are opening up a golf course in here, meaning that we are opening up to the world. Thirdly, we're talking about the fight against corruption. We're talking about
we're already opened up. There's investors coming in. There's pleasures of foreign direct investment every other week. So how much? What are we opening up exactly?
No, I mean, let me before I can forget my point. I want to emphasize again on the appointments, for example. We have made it very clear. I think this point also somehow it's being withheld by the people who may not be comfortable with. We've promised the people of Zambia that I'm the president, or the permanent secretaries, PSs, so-called PS. And their deputies, we've got any that is, and then the directors. These will be appointed from the army pool. The soldiers, the pool from there. These people are protecting us, but there's a lot of discipline there in the army. There's no corruption there in the army. So we feel we need to identify a few numbers of them or a number of them to help us in running the government through the PSs and the directors. If there's a law that prohibits that, we are going to repeal it. So what I'm trying to say is that Mr. Tonga's approach is all about making sure that the people of Zambia have got a better life. So if that does not work out, you have me, who is genuine and truthful in the running affairs of this particular country. Someone wants to fight corruption to zero, and you will not be let down. We want to open Zambia to everybody else. For example, now they're talking about the constitution change, where they want to fit in young people, women, the physically challenged. It's a lie. All we are saying is that if you create an enabling environment for the people, things will unfold by themselves. If a young man sits in here, is covered with ZNBC, or he goes anywhere else and looks for the funds, is helped without being intimidated, these people can maximize their potential. So we are going to, first of all, stop stealing by politicians using a non-bearable corruption. Enough money for everybody.
And part of your policies, you did say that no Zambian pregnant woman will be delivered by a male nurse.
But before we get to that, I just want to conclude on one point. So have you done some research on how feasible that is for us to be given to another nation? Is that even legal within our constitution?
It doesn't. I love that.
What does that research tell you?
That's a beautiful question. But first of all, you need to understand that it's only the Bible which it cannot be changed or altered by anybody.
Okay.
The legal term or law, these are...
Because it borders on some words that I don't even want to use. So I'm just asking from a legal standpoint.
The point is, whether there's a law in place or not, we are going to change that law.
Okay.
To permit Zambia make a decision whether to be part of America or not through a referendum. That's the first thing.
Okay.
The feasibility of it all is very simple and basic because the people of Zambia live in abject poverty for 60 years. The system that we have used over time has failed us. And the big brother must help us to get through that particular situation. And I've said that once we become part of America, you're also part of the European Union countries. So, I mean, these are developed nations. Why can't we be part of them?
Can we serve two masters at the same time?
Come again?
Can we serve two masters at the same time?
We're not serving anything. We're just part of them. There are 50 states which are being managed by governors. It would just be the same thing. So Mr. Tonga will be relegated to that particular position. That's not a problem. But my interest is that we need to live a Zambia that everybody will be happy. This world was created for everybody. So the situation now of saying, me, I'm the president, you're the ministers, whatever it is, has been sustained over time because it benefits the few individuals. And that is what we do not want to maintain. If we fail, that is a decision of the people of Zambia. But as far as I'm concerned, look, we shall give room to everybody. I talked about Barotseland. We can discuss that at the later stage. But when that time comes for referendum, everyone will be allowed to campaign. But for us as government, it will be very clear we want to be part of America as government. We can even go as far as funding non-government organizations to do the campaign. But mark my words, no poor Zambian citizen will refuse to become rich and live a better life. I said it. Everybody will drive a car. Americans are driving cars. Everybody is busy. They've got land. So that's what we want to do for the people of Zambia.
Okay, now let's go back to your policy where you said no Zambian pregnant woman will be delivered by a male nurse or they face a sentence of 20 years imprisonment.
You're good people, yes. I'm the president today. No.
Isn't that gender discrimination?
No, we are trying to protect a woman.
How?
a very important person, because you are the people that bring life on this particular earth. Now, it's called the private part. It's not public part.
We do have gynecologists that are male.
That's a different arrangement. There you are normal. You are in order. You can walk in there and be attended to with your husband or with your man. But when it comes to delivery of a child, they are taking advantage of the pain that a woman goes through. And they want to do whatever they want to do. So a woman must be protected.
Who's they? Who's they? Who are you referring to?
Come again?
You said they. Who's they?
They is the men.
Okay.
The men themselves. So we are saying men will not deliver a woman. Even just being in there. Go to any hospital, sometimes the woman is crying there, she's delivering, and you have got so-called, those who are working in those rooms and running around and watching whatever a woman is going through. That's not correct. Have an experience. For example, here's a woman. This is a young boy who just graduated. This is a woman. This is a boy who was helping his own mother to deliver a child. She delivers a child. He's walking around where that woman is, and this woman feels so bad. So all we are saying is that we must protect this woman.
What are you exactly protecting them for? Because if somebody went to school and got trained to become a male nurse and to deliver a child, or to become a midwife,
yes,
it means they are qualified to do that job. So what are you protecting them from exactly?
No, they are qualified, yes, but not in that particular level. These are human beings. That's why we've had cases of probably even rape, or even the mind of the
your
woman.
Statistics on rape, how
they may not be very, they may not be very high, but the truth of the matter is that these things have happened. Beyond that, this woman is married, okay?
Mm-hmm.
This woman is a human being who would not want to be undressed in her normal situation.
Mm-hmm.
Kindly hold that thought. Let me squeeze in a call. Good morning. It's Uru, Voice of the People.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm alright, thank you.
I'm fine, thank you. What's your name and where are you calling us from?
My name is Peter. I'm calling from.
Is your radio on? Kindly turn down your radio if it's on.
Alright. Let me turn to and come back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He's going to call back. Go ahead.
So also emphasizing that this is non-compromise. I'm the president today. A woman will be delivered by a fellow woman. I'm not a Muslim, for example. I'm a Christian.
Mm-hmm.
But go through the Islamic circles.
Hold that thought. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Maponga again.
All right, Maponga, go ahead.
Mr. Enoch, I want to know what makes you think America isn't struggling economy-wise. And because as far as I'm concerned, America is struggling equally. And what makes you think working with Americans or thinking they will, what makes you think they will help us? Because even them, they're struggling right now, and you didn't answer my question, the one I asked earlier about why wanting Americans to help when we can develop our own country using our own local resources. Thank you.
Thank you indeed. 0955-997-997, 0979-192-485. You want to respond to that?
Mr. Tonga, you want to respond to that?
Sure. It's very simple. Why do I think? They've done it for themselves. It's there. You can call it they're struggling economically, but you cannot compare their struggles to the levels where we are as a nation, as Africans, as Zambia in particular. And why can't we use our own resources? We failed to use those resources for 60 years down the line. We have not used them. That's why the 20 million people from that.
Hello.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning.
Who are we speaking to?
You are talking to Chanda Mlenga.
All right, Chanda Mlenga. Go ahead with the contribution this morning.
Yeah. I think what the guest is saying, partly, I think is very, sorry to use the word, but it's very pathetic, does not deserve to be a leader because there's no way where we want Zambia. At the moment, Zambia is really struggling in almost all sectors. And would want to have a leader where is the resources of Zambia being managed by Zambians. Because if you are going to have an attitude where Zambians can't manage their own resources, or have a situation where even medical equipment that's supposed to be put in health facilities. These politicians will be sent to South Africa for medical checkup instead of bringing those machines for Zambia, so that every Zambian must have a good health attention, because this is the situation even in mining and every sector where we are saying, us Zambians, we can't manage our own country. Why can't we be trained so that we can able to do certain things? And like always been lashed out that no, Zambians, they can't manage. Zambians, how are we going to develop this Zambia with that kind of attitude?
Many thanks for that contribution, Chandamlan. We thank you. 0955997997 0979192485. As we wind down, maybe I'll allow you to respond.
Let me come in. Yes. Do you know the most important thing people should understand is that that's why they call it governance. And so much goes on behind the system called the system. Please understand me very clearly. That the failings that we're having in Africa. Let's talk about the current leader. He gave you promises, heaven on earth. Nobody in the Republic of Zambia is not disappointed with Hakainde Hichilema. Nearly everyone is disappointed, including his own people from Southern Province. You have no idea why he's unable to deliver. You have no idea. This man gets in power. How does he get in power? Resources were needed. Do you know who funded Hakainde Hichilema? Do you understand what goes on behind walls? You don't understand that. Here's Mr. Tonga has let the cat off the bag. I would want to help you in a better way so you understand. It is not about you failing manage affairs. No. We are saying now we are going to deal with this system in a different manner. The resources remain in Zambia. They will not go anywhere. In fact, we'll just be part of the system, American people. And ourselves, let's use what they've used and fit it in here, and it works for us.
Now, speaking about American people, the question that was posed by the caller was saying, how do you plan on selling not selling, like you said, you want us to be part of the American system and we will have our own resources. Won't we be running away from responsibilities because America, likewise, is also struggling?
No, they could be struggling. But to what extent? We're not running out from our responsibilities. In fact, we have failed our own responsibilities. That's the point. That is why people are poor. That's why there's corruption. We are only 20 million people on a vast land. We have failed to manage ourselves totally. We are doing literally nothing. Poverty is all over. Debt is all over. The country, nothing is working. It's all about maiming, destroying one another. That is what we are saying no.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah. Yes, good morning. Thank you.
All right. Who are we speaking to?
Yes, this is Samuel, senior citizen.
Okay. Mr. Samia, go ahead with the contribution.
Thank you very much. Good morning, Mr. President.
Good morning, senior citizen. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Great.
Away from that discussion, I think, let me bring you home. I know you were recently in America, just returned home. My question is, here at home, your colleagues, the opposition political parties, have formed alliances. You have heard about them, and I think you've even seen about them. Are you working alone, or you are together with other political parties that have formed alliances? Yes. Or if you are to join an alliance, which alliance would you like to join? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Straight away, we are not going to join any alliance. God does not go in an alliance when he's about to fight a battle. So, very simple. The existing alliances are same individuals. I must emphasize. The other one, there's Uka, there's Tonse. They're basically a group of individuals who have brought themselves together, who were there then yesterday. You understand these things. They are individuals, they told you, no, I have left that group because it's corrupt. They are individuals who had pointed fingers on one another. Today, they have grouped themselves. So that is just reincarnation of PF. As Third Liberation Movement, we are not going to join any alliance. We've never joined any alliance. We are taking it out alone as an institution, as a movement. So we haven't joined any alliance in the Republic of Zambia.
As we wind down, just a final question. What are your views on the proposed constitutional amendments?
It must be stopped.
Why so?
It doesn't benefit anybody. It's just that on Hakainde Hichilema, is pushing for it because he has realized that he's going to lose the political power, which is becoming so sweet now. But my very strong statement to him is that please hands off the Constitutional Republic of Zambia. They are pushing for it in the last minute today because they know that they can only survive using Constitution. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we told them if they meant well, the first day they were in power, they were supposed to work on the Constitution. He was aware about it. But because he felt he can do it, and he had all that so-called support, and on the way he has lost it, he has realized he cannot go anywhere else. So the Constitution of Zambia must be left alone. Don't touch it. The people of Zambia have said no to it. It's very simple and very basic. These are the things. But again, I must emphasize that we are dealing with people who may not understand and hear us, even if we speak. It is up to the people of Zambia. I'm speaking today because of your opportunity or the chance you've given us. We appreciate so much. So when we speak like this, the people of Zambia must be able to stand with us and support the mission that we've got. Is only Third Liberation Movement, Mr. Tonga, who stands out to be unique, genuine, truthful, God-fearing. We are going to fight corruption. The rest are teaming up. Look at this. If we were to continue with the current leadership, the truth of the matter is that no government in Africa delivers in its last term. Because the last term, they know that we are going. In fact, it's a bad law. You know that in the next 5 years, we are done. I'm not going to come back. And you expect that person to deliver to you, you must be not correct in your mind. Okay. The other thing before coming quickly, bringing in the reincarnation of PF is totally wrong because when they come back, they will do a revenge. So at the end of the day, if we continue maintaining either the alliances and the previous administration, we are going through circles. The best way to go is ERT, Third Liberation Movement, Mr. Tonga, then we are going to change the status quo.
Quickly on the Cybersecurity Act, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, we are repeating it out. Look, again, we have a tendency in Zambia where we want to cry over spilled milk. These people, when they get into power, they become too powerful that they cannot even listen to anybody else. So the cybersecurity law, which was enacted upon, we are not going to waste our time crying to Nsaka in the East Chamber because he's not here. He must be told that he's going. He will soon be a former. For us as the Liberation Movement, we are going to have it repealed immediately because we don't need it. Right now, people can't speak. They're uncomfortable. Then what are you creating? You are supposed to hear the consent of the people. I've heard something to do with the journalists. That's a path Mr. Nsaka is taking. And this man is not even ashamed of himself because he promised you so much on this particular earth. He was the same man who was against the same cybersecurity law when Balungu signed on it in 2021. And today he moves in, repeals Mr. Lungu's, he puts in his. So we are saying that cybersecurity law is bad, pathetic, terrible. We don't need it. They will not listen to us. But be rest assured that I'm the president today. The first thing, among others, I'm going to do is to have it repealed immediately. And we must emphasize that any decisions of this kind must be done through the consultation of the people of Zambia. Money was changed without consultation. They felt they can do it in their own way. But for us as the Liberation Movement, we shall do anything with the people of Zambia in consultation. So the cybersecurity law is totally wrong, bad, destroying everybody else. It must not be accepted by any Zambian citizen. And
we'll have to leave it at that. Mr. Enoch Tonga, it's been a pleasure having you on Voice of the People this morning. We are grateful. Thank you very much. I think this is how it should be. Our appeal to you is that please continue accommodating us because the people of Zambia are running all over, looking for where they can go to. Their hope is in Third Liberation Movement, Mr. Tonga as well. So when you give us an opportunity like this, it helps the people of Zambia for us to move on and build what is important for this country. Mr. Enoch Tonga, Third Liberation Movement President, was our guest this morning on Voice of the People. My name is Patrick Chifambo, joining the Queens of Breakfast every single morning from 7:45 until now. Good morning.
Wake up to the best in music, news, entertainment with Power Breakfast, your favorite weekday morning show on Power 91.3 FM, Beats TV, Channel 92 on Topstar, and live on Facebook.